we recognize ourselves to be a living tradition. That means we continue to evolve with the times. Now, few generations back, the role of women was very secondary. They were just housekeepers, looking after the needs of the household, bringing up children. That was their role until very recently. In almost every family, this was the role given to the women. And some people say, oh, this is why we like Sita, because she's so obedient to her husband. This is terrible. Don't say stuff like that. Now, let me just explore. Until very recently, it was a patriarchal society. The men are the rulers and the men are the bread earners, so they were controlling the household perfectly. Fair enough, this is the way society operated through all the world, almost all the world's civilizations, except a few kind of exceptions in, say, South American society or in African society, where it was a matriarchal society. Women control the family life. And even the Himachal Pradesh, there are certain areas where women are in charge, or in Kerala, it's a matriarchal society with women have a kind of upper hand regarding running the family. But now what is the situation for the general Hindus, for average Hindu? Look, I'll tell you my own story. My father would click his finger and say, okay, today 10 people are going to come for lunch. And my mom said, no problem, start cooking, cleaning, everything, no problem. It was very easy. This is the way it was done 50 years ago. Now it comes my turn. Now in my case, I was also like that. I was clicking my finger, my wife was running around clearing the house. I said, okay, 10 people coming for lunch, and she would prepare. But now in the last 10-20 years, things have changed dramatically. Now my wife is clicking her finger saying, don't go and give a talk to those people because they don't really appreciate you. So she is now dictating to me exactly where I do my talks. So it's turned upside down. Why? We are evolving society. We recognize the role of women has been changing, and now the women have been empowered to kind of decide their own future and dictate to a great extent how the family is run. So be it. I'm happy about it. Look, the reason why modern India is now progressing so dramatically, so economically, is not because just one or two people came in. It's because the women are have been unshackled from the kitchen, allowed to participate in greater society. So you double your workforce. You've got a wonderful, very clever, very intelligent, very hard-working workforce coming into the market, working at a lower price than the men. And that is why India has suddenly been discovering the power of women. In the little scooters, they go and do all kinds of jobs in the country. So please, we recognize the evolving face of women, and women are now being empowered. But Nishitbhai, there is one downside to it. There's always a downside to everything.
Yes.
The downside is this: until recently, in Hindu society, divorces were very rare. And one wonderful gentleman, Vijayabhai, Dilipbhai, do you know why that is the case? Because the men had the economic power. They were the bread earners, so the women were completely under their control, and they could not walk out because how are they going to survive? But now, as the situation has changed and women are perhaps earning more than the men, the divorce rate has shot up. The women say, we'll sort ourselves out, we don't need you.
They do not need to stick around if the situation is not a suitable one.
So it's changing dramatically. It's another thing I must mention, because a lot of people do mention this. Mr. Lakhani, you love Ram and you praise Sita. Is it because just she was obedient? The answer is not true. In reality, Sita was a very stubborn young lady, and the reason why we love Sita, in fact that's why I named my daughter Sita, is because Sita represents some of the marvelous traits of womankind. Not obedience, gentleness, loyalty. This is the grandness of Sita. Very gentle and very noble, and always very loyal. This is the beautiful part of the Sita story. Let me tell you how it degenerated. This Sita, after she was married, she was dragged off into the forest for 14 years. She happily went, participated in the process, got abducted, all through this. And then after she's finished the abduction, we rescue Sita from the abduction. Ram said, okay, walk through the fire. Poor little lady is asked to walk in fire to prove her innocence or her purity. And then it doesn't stop there. And then after they come back to the kingdom, somebody complained that, look, Sita lived with another man, so all women, you can have wife exchange here in our society. So Ram and Sita said, look, this is cracking up the social fabric of our nation. So I'm telling you, this is a joint decision, whether you like it or not. So they said, rather than allow the society to crack up, let us set a good example. So that is why Ram put Sita into exile. Now Sita didn't say, oh, I'm going to file divorce case against you, ask for half your kingdom, and by the way, I want Hanuman as well to be written up for me to serve me. So she didn't ask for this, she quietly went. This is the beauty of Sita, loyalty to the end. And both of them lived like one. and both of them suffered together, and they were prepared to give up their loved ones simply to protect the moral fabric of that nation at that time. So recognize Sita for what it is: loyalty, tremendous perseverance, and tremendous, if you like, the same kind of ethos that Ram subscribed to: live for others, not for my own personal benefit. This is why we mustn't forget the greatness of Sita.
Free e-learning course in Hinduism. To register, please visit www.hindu-academy.com.
Talks on Hinduism. Sponsored by People Care. Encouraging caring for the elderly in their own homes. For more information, please visit peoplecare.com.